Candace Harris from Board Game Geek. I have a lovely crew here. We have Tim from Mondo Games, and we're going to be talking about King of Movies, the Leonard Maltin Game. And we're honored to be joined by Leonard Maltin and his daughter, Jessie, and then also Lincoln and Nikki, because I think we're actually going to try to play the game. But maybe, Tim, do you want to tell us a little bit about King of Movies?
Absolutely. This is a game that my buddy Ant Timpson, a fellow movie theater guy, invented in the 90s with his buddy. So Leonard Maltin is, in my opinion, the king of movies and wrote the Bible of movie reviews back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. And if you are a self-respecting movie fan, then you had a dog-eared copy of the Leonard Maltin Guide. So in the old school, you would thumb through the guide, find a movie that nobody at the table knew. You'd read out the name of the movie, and then you would attempt to recreate in the style of Leonard Maltin a Leonard Maltin capsule review. The person who was leading that round would write down the actual Leonard Maltin review, and then they'd be read, and you'd choose who is the real Maltin. Turns out, guys, Leonard Maltin's really good at this game. Fair warning, if we're playing against Leonard, the deck is stacked.
That's fine.
So we leaned it out for a board game, and so we took the classic movie guide, about 10,000 movies, and pared it down to 750 that come with the game. And we've also leaned out some of the superfluous language, and you don't have to write down the review anymore. But it's basically that same game that was developed, and it's an homage to somebody we think very highly of. Mr. Leonard Maltin is here with us.
It's all very flattering. I did not, Candace, I want to emphasize, I did not come up with the name of this game. I cannot coronate myself.
Fair enough. So should we try a round?
Well, let me give you a few little hints. Like if you're not familiar with the Leonard Maltin style, maybe Leonard's here. Leonard, I hate to put you on the spot, but maybe how would you describe if people are coming in cold? Explain the Leonard Maltin style for the purpose of this game.
Well, this is dealing mostly with very old movies, which tended to be more formulaic than today's films, which have many complex plot lines going on. But in the old days, they made what we used to call programmers. A man murders his wife and takes it on the lam to South America, where he encounters unexpected trouble. That's a synopsis of a movie that I just made up out of my head. But it's not so far from describing a lot of old movies. And that's what you have to get your teeth into, is that rhythm and that style. And we used to do it in what my editor called the telegraphic style. You'd just punch words in without worrying about being literary.
Nice.
Once you get a taste of it, I think you'll get the idea.
So I'll build on that for a second. Think of it as like almost Twitter style, but before Twitter was invented. And so the reviews are going to be generally between 25 and 50 words. I think a familiar rhythm, it's not always this way, is there'll be a capsule explanation of what the film is. And then there will be some sort of very quick, is this good, is this bad, is this terrible, is this great type of statement.
A minimalist critique.
And then oftentimes it's either expanding on the critique or a little bit of trivia that you might not know about that. And what we've done with the game also to keep it an even playing field, because one of the worries is, I'm not going to be able to play this if I don't know a million movies. If you've watched 7 movies, you can probably do this game. So you can only use last names. If you're talking about a director or an actor, then only use the last name. So we pulled any first names out of it. So you can use like Grant or Hepburn or Bogart if you want to, but you can also say Jones or Garrett, and it's like, I don't know the director Garrett. There's probably a very important director. Then I'm going to be playing the role of what's called the Maltin. So I will be reading the real review, And it's important in my diction to not stumble on any words. And if I happen to stumble on a word, then just do it evenly across everybody. So you don't so the reader shouldn't tell as to what the movie is. So,
Okay.
And that's it. We're playing it over Zoom. We, like all board games, we like to play them across the table, but that violates the 6-foot radius. So we're going to do it over Zoom, and you guys will email me your reviews. And so while you guys are thinking, so there's not several minutes of dead air, I'll probably just have a conversation with Leonard, the real Maltin, and you can mute us. And when you're ready, just raise your hand, and we'll go through the rest of the game. Do you guys have any questions on how to write and what the drill is?
I think we got it. I was thinking I'm just going to use Google autocomplete. I'll just start typing things in and see what I get. It might be pretty good.
If only that had existed when we started doing the book.
I do have a little cheat. Like if I have a mental block and I can't think of a fake movie synopsis, I kind of just go back to the filmography of Adam Sandler and I recreate one of Adam Sandler's movies in an old-fashioned style. And it usually does. So scoring, just so you know, if you guess the real review, you get 2 points. If your review is guessed as the real Maltin, you get 1 point. And me as the Maltin, if nobody guesses the real review, I get 2 points. You go around the table where everybody gets a chance to be the Maltin, and then person with the most points at the end of a round is the winner and is crowned the king of movies. And you have a little paper crown that expenses were spared in the creation of that paper crown.
It's made of film reels, which is really cool.
It's a beautiful crown.
No, come on.
Okay, are you guys ready for?
Sure.
And it's important. If you happen to know this movie, then let us know, and then we will we'll choose another one.
Oh wow!
But the movie,
Lincoln, you shouldn't be playing
no.
this.
that we have curated
Lincoln
for
knows
today.
a lot of. I guarantee you, Lincoln will know this.
Fast Workers. Has anybody seen the movie Fast Workers?
Wow.
Okay. All right. Well, the two players. Leonard has already written his review and did not remember what Fast Workers was, so has written a fake review.
No, I'm going to be embarrassed when I find out what movie I just faked, because I actually have seen it, but so many years ago. I have no recollection.
So you guys can mute us, and maybe just to pass the time, I'll talk to Leonard, because I don't get the chance to talk to Leonard enough, and so it's a nice. That's the game I'm going to play while you guys are writing. You guys good to write your fake review of Fast?
We'll give it a whirl.
Fast Workers.
Oop, Tim just froze.
Oh, Tim's
Workers
froze.
in
Oh,
a
there he
Leonard
goes.
Maltin
Okay.
style.
Yeah, we're gonna try.
Okay.
Yep, try our best.
All right. And so raise your hands when you guys are ready, and then I'll just talk to Leonard. So maybe being a professional film reviewer, especially when you got started, today anybody with a computer and internet connection theoretically could do it if they have a bright enough mind. But how did you get started? How did this become your career path?
Well, I never knew it was going to be a career path. It was just something I loved and was attracted to. And I loved to write. I was publishing my own, what we used to call fanzine, which is to say an amateur magazine. Today it would be a blog post, or something like that. But I actually used to publish an actual magazine, something you held in your hands. And as my interest in movie history grew, because I loved Charlie Chaplin and Laurel and Hardy and all the early comedy stars, I wanted to write about them, and that's what set me on that path.
And you wrote multiple fanzines.
Yeah.
You've had many from when you were a kid, really. Because how old were you when you started Profile?
11, 12.
11, right. And then go in order of your fanzines.
The Bulletin.
Bulletin first.
We lived in Bergen County, New Jersey, so the first one was called the Bergen Bulletin.
Adorable.
Now, we didn't want it to be so locally oriented, so we called it the Bulletin. And then when I started writing more about, individuals that I admired, we called it Profile. it became more formalized as a magazine. Then ultimately, I started contributing to a magazine in Vancouver called Film Fan Monthly for people who collected films on 16 millimeter or 8 millimeter. And I contributed to that for 2 years. And then its editor, who was 19 when I first contacted him, said, you know, I've built up a nice subscription list, but I don't have time to do this anymore. Would you want to take it over? So I took over his magazine and its subscription list, which was mostly in the US and Canada, but we had some Aussies and New Zealanders and a few people in Western Europe. And I did that every month for the next 9 years, from the time I was 15 to the time I was 24.
Wow.
And then he married my mom, Tim, and so they call her Yoko because she's the one that ruined Film Fan Monthly.
I don't think that's fair. I don't know. Although I don't want to go into my feelings about Yoko Ono. I think she's actually a really interesting artist, and I think she gets a bad rap. And those Beatles,
Agreed.
They were very nice.
Yeah, but Yoko is a very you kind of an artist. Like, that doesn't surprise me at all. That that's something you would like. I like her too.
So you've obviously seen a ton of movies, Leonard. Do you have any recommendations for like a hidden gem that that people really need to see? Because what I love about the game is there's a lot of movies that I don't know, a lot of classic golden era movies, and every time I play, I write down something. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to see this movie. This movie sounds amazing. What's some of yours?
2 nights ago, I watched a movie that I don't think I'd seen since I was in my teens, called Westward the Women, starring Robert Taylor and a lot of women not well known, and directed by William Wellman. And it's a really good film based on a great premise about a ranch owner in California who's built up a town outside his ranch, all the workers and all that, but they're all men. And he realizes the only way he's really going to settle the land way out in California is to bring in women, good women of good character, to become wives and mothers. Mm-hmm. And it's about this trek that they have to make, this 2,000-mile trek overland from St. Louis. Mm. And Robert Taylor is a wagon master who's seen, many people through this 2,000-mile trek, and now he's going to do it with these women. It's really good. It's really well done. It's a feminist Western.
That's nice.
Nikki has seen that.
I have seen that.
I feel like I've gotten the 2 reviews. They have come into my email. Normally,
do you have one, Candace?
I'm almost done.
Okay.
Oh,
wow. She's
just
writing
sent
them.
one.
No, it's terrible.
Oh, Scott's got one.
Terrible.
Oh, you're gonna have 4 reviews.
I think I saw a bit of Nikki's. It looked pretty good.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. That's a little bit of a cheat. I'm just telling you.
Well, after I sent mine, so I didn't influence mine at all. Mine was terrible.
Yeah, but
terrible.
There's voting involved.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have looked.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read these that have come in so far, just so I don't stumble over them, which is an important part of it. So I'm gonna drop out and figure out what I need to do, but that'll just take me a minute.
What are the jerseys you guys are wearing?
Oh, this is our we have a weekly gameplay show called Game Night, and a friend of ours did some fan art for that, and that's our shirts. And then we're Board Game Geek. We're a board game website that's community driven, and we do media.
No, I know who you are. I just want to see your jerseys.
Oh yeah, so these are the ones with the new art, thematic art that we're using now. We changed this last year, and then this one was the Game Night one with the old character
logo.
Ernie. So there you go.
Cool.
I need an updated jersey.
Yep, updated jersey.
Yeah, you need a new one.
Yep, we got an.
Is that your blinged one? Is that your
No,
blinged one?
I don't have the blinged one now.
No.
It's actually the correctly printed one.
You should tell the story about the bling.
So yeah, we had last year they misprinted this, and this was just a black line, so you didn't see the BGG. So we, Nikki, me, and Scott, when we were in Dallas before going to Gen Con that would be next week, we went through with a bejeweling thing, and gemmed them all up and did custom ones. themed to some of the people and stuff, which is fun because one of our contributors is way into color, and so we did hers with Nikki did hers with chase light rhinestones all the way around in rainbow colors, and we were sequencing them and everything. Got real good at using that little iron and melting them on.
That was a lot.
That was a lot of
Great
work.
that all of us
Way-
ladies got the same hair color memo.
Yeah, I know.
Natural is out.
Nice.
I'm trying to get my dad to dye his hair rainbow. He's not game yet, though. So.
No.
Okay, are you guys ready to hear about fast workers?
Sure I am.
Yes.
Nope.
Oh, we got frozen again.
Frozen again.
So if I'm
There we
correct, the real Maltin, is that correct? Oh, am I back?
Yes.
Yeah.
You are back
Yep,
now.
you're back.
You're back.
Okay,
You're
so
back.
I've got, including the real Maltin, I've got 6 reviews. Is that correct?
Sounds right.
Okay,
Wow.
okay. Are you guys ready?
Wait, who
for-
else is who's this?
Who's-
Oh, including
who's-
the real Malton. That's 5. Yeah, it's Scott, Candace, you, me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Eric. Is
Okay.
Eric
Oh,
playing it?
Eric's playing? Okay.
Yeah. His will
So
be
the
good.
way we're going to do it is I'm going to read them. I will summarize them, and then on the count of 3, you're going to hold up fingers in front of the screen and just keep them held up. All right. So it's 1 through 6. All right. So here we go. Here we go. Are you guys ready for Fast
Yes.
Workers? Fast Workers is an abysmal film based on a play called Rivets about construction workers who are friendly, romantic rivals. Starts out snappy, then turns to turgid dramatics. Odd material for horror director Browning, too.
Wow.
Fast Workers. Laurel and Hardy, as might be expected, fail to do the job when they're tasked with replacing a wall within an active hotel. Interacting with various guests along the way. Solid, if unsurprising performances. Fast Workers, number 2.
Okay.
Fast Workers, number 3. 2 men put the make in a contest to put two men put the make in a contest to put the make on women in Fast Workers. Harris does his charming best to win the ladies, and audience is over. Workmanlike direction by the serviceable Jones. Fast Workers. Fast Workers. Rival construction workers vie for the affection of their female boss in this breezy mix of action and romance set in Chicago. Pitts almost walks away with the picture as Chatterton's secretary. Fast Workers, number 4. Fast Workers, number 5. 2 rival con artists try to con each other out of millions. Little do they know the con is on them and fall in love. Fast Workers, number 5. Fast Workers, number 6, the final Fast Workers. In this comedy heist movie, 2 brothers break into a bank in the middle of the day to steal from their rich uncle's safety deposit box. Their plans are to, quote unquote, work fast. They get stuck in several silly situations that thwart their best laid plans. Despite the title of this movie, it's plottingly slow, and I cannot recommend. Fast Workers, number 6.
That's a good group.
Yeah. So I'm gonna recap. I'll recap. Think
Yeah, they're
about
all
them.
pretty good.
Fast Workers number 1. It's an abysmal film based on the play Rivets about construction workers who are romantic rivals. Fast Workers number 2 is the Laurel and Hardy film. They are tasked with replacing a wall in an active hotel. Fast Workers number 3 is putting the make on women, and trying to win the ladies and the audience over. Fast Workers number 4 is rival construction workers vying for the affection of their female boss, Breezy. And Fast Workers number 5, 2 rival con artists try to con each other out of millions, but the con is on them. Fast Workers number 6, comedy heist movie, 2 brothers breaking into a bank in the middle of the day to steal from their rich uncle's safety deposit box. Similar themes, great minds. What do you guys think? Do you have
So we're gonna flash
an
our hands
idea
up.
on who is the correct Fast Workers?
You gonna give us the 3 count?
I
Put our
cannot
hands
count.
up.
Yeah.
So
Guys ready?
I can't see everybody on the screen, so you'll have to tell me who chose what, and then we'll kind of go through the.
I'll
tell you
type
who's
mine in the
what
chat.
and who gets the points.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
1, 2. It's fingers 1 through 6.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, fingers.
With him.
I say number 4. Eric says number 1.
Number 1,
got a
number
couple
4,
number ones
number
there.
5.
The 1 has 3 of them.
And there's a 4 and a 5. Anybody else?
A 4. Yep, that's it, I think. No, 2. Nikki has 2.
Nikki has 2, yeah.
2. Okay. So the correct, as the indefeatable Leonard Maltin knows, the correct one is actually number 1. Fast Workers is number 1, the abysmal film based on the play called Rivets. Who was number 2, 4, and 5?
What was,
I
Nikki
was-
was 2.
I was
Nikki was 2.
5.
Yeah.
I was 5.
I can't
Oh,
remember.
I thought you had 2.
Oh,
think you're
I
Nikki's
guessed
rival?
2.
Yeah, she guessed
I'm
2.
sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guessed
It
2.
was number
Yeah,
2.
so
Eric
number
must have been
2
number
is
2.
the Laurel and Hardy film. Who was that?
That's probably Eric.
was Eric.
That's probably Eric.
Yeah.
That was me indeed.
Good going.
I was
So
channeling your
everybody
background
that
wall,
guessed the
Mr.
real
Maltin.
review gets 2 points. And if yours is
Nice.
guessed, then you get 1 point in addition. So if
Mine
somebody
didn't.
was to have guessed number 1 and then also had theirs guessed, so Eric had number 2, and then number 4 was rival construction workers vying for the affection of their
That's his.
female boss.
That's
That's my fake version.
Nice.
Aha!
That's your
So
fake.
you
I
get a
voted for your
point.
fake version.
By the way, Leonard always wins this game. It's just,
Of course.
Yeah.
and then number 5 was.
But in fairness, I'm never going to be available for the thousands of people who will be playing this game.
And
Well, you can
who
still
was
win,
2
but not
rival
be
con
there, right?
artists trying to con each other out of millions.
I think that was yours.
That
wasn't
was
Nikki's,
mine.
yeah.
All right.
was mine.
All right.
That was
So you get an
good.
extra point for
That
that
was
as
nice.
well. So
Awesome.
everybody's potential. Is anybody tied with Leonard at this point? Did you choose the right
We'll
one?
say
Lincoln
you
guessed.
took it.
What number was yours, Lincoln? Which one was yours, Lincoln?
I was
guessed
the
number 1, right?
no. I
number?
guessed. I guessed. I was guessing it was that number 1 was my selection, right? Isn't that what you're doing?
Number 1, that
That's
it was
correct.
Malton's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you were
Maltin.
correct.
Yeah. I mean, it said
were
said
correct.
Browning, right? Browning seemed like the. I'm like, well, this is the only one that's saying a real name, so that's probably it.
So Tim, is King of Movies out? Has it been released yet? How can people get
King
this?
of Movies was released yesterday, day before yesterday. So
Wow.
it's
Congrats.
going to be shipping in September, coming to local game shops in October. You can pre-order it. It's $25, and it's at mondoshop.com. And
The game pieces are really fun, and all the design of it is fun. It's not just a mental game.
No, Tim and his team did a really, as usual, fantastic job.
Yeah.
And the
I
other
wanna
have
fun
a-
thing about it is
I-
we're also we have a film distribution company, and the beautiful thing about this game is over the years we've had so many amazing synopses where we're like, oh my gosh, we got to turn that into a movie. So once a year, our favorite 20 synopses that people send in to Mondo Shop are going to be reviewed, and we're going to option one of those movies. No guarantee we'll make it. We might make it. You know, your fake Maltin review might change movie history.
Wow.
Or it might not.
Well,
Wow.
well, thank you so much, Tim, for telling us about King of Movies, the Leonard Maltin game, and thank you, Leonard and Jesse, for joining us, and everybody for playing. It was super fun.
It was fun.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
thanks so much for
everybody.
coming
Yeah.
on. Really,
Thank you.
really, really exciting.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
very exciting for me.
Take care. Yes, Nikki
You too.
loves Leonard
I
Maltin.
used to watch
All
all
the
the time
time.
when I was younger.
Bless
when you had your
Thank you.
show.